We're back after having some vacation, right? We gave you a few weeks to kind of prepare yourself, and guess what? Now we're stepping up to kindergarten. So now we are going to continue with the same program that we've been doing for the past few years. This time it will be bilingual, one. Two, it will be in another grade, which is kindergarten. And those of you who have followed me with pre K, you will have a better idea of how we're going to go a little bit more intense with Fundations. So today's lesson is on Unit 1, Week 1, Day 1 of Fundations. So they have this new logo back on the bottom because if you remember, the one that I used was a very old brand, and this was the back then, but this time they made it a little smaller. So when you take out your skylight information board, and those of you who are in my class, you already got this laminated. I made a photocopy of this and I laminated it for you so that you can practice at home. It doesn't mean you need to buy it because this is a very expensive board. All right? This board is very different because on one side, which is the side we're going to work on, is the sky writing formation board, right? But on the back, which is what we're going to be working on this year, it's going to be a little bit more specific towards kindergarten and what we're learning. So today's lesson, we're going to be working on the last three letters. Well, the first three letters of this unit, but the last three letters that we've discussed so far. Last week in our school, we did letter T, which was our introduction on orientation. And today, we did T, B, and F. So that's what I'm going to focus on for you today. So you're going to need to take this out, and you're going to make sure that you take this out when you are practicing, because it's very important to practice, because practice makes it what? Perfect. You also need a dry erase marker. It doesn't have to be Expo. It could be from the 99-cent store like this one. And pick a color you like, but make sure that because you are in kindergarten, as well as I was saying when they were in pre-K, your chisel or your tip should be a little bit more fatter and more stronger, because when you're developing your fine motor skills, one of the things that children do is that they press so hard on the tip up down here that this chisel goes right inside. You don't want that to happen, because if it does happen, you're not going to have a dry erase marker for a very long time, and especially if it's new. So we're going to practice writing our skylight formation board. I'm doing it backwards so that you can see me, how I do it. But you're going to place it on your surface, on your table, or wherever you are that you're watching this video on YouTube. Now, the first letter I said was the letter T. Now, T, top, T, is the first letter. So you start on the sky. You come down to the grass. That's what you're going to do first. See, the sky is here. You're going to start on the sky and you're going to go down to the grass. Some of you have had the habit of going from the grass up. That's not what we do in kindergarten, and neither in pre-K. So if you were in pre-K, you should know that you should always start on the sky and come down to the grass. If you've never been in pre-K, then I would understand why you're doing it going up. But don't do that, because that's not what we do. Now, once you do the letter T from the sky to the grass, you need to cross. So you're going to cross on this airplane line. You're going to cross and go across the airplane line. And that's T, top, T. Now, I'm not going to make many T's because that's not the purpose of this lesson. The purpose of this lesson is to make three letters that we're studying this week. T is the first one. The second one is B, bat, B. B. bat, b. So beep, bat, b, lowercase, starts on the sky, comes down to the grass. Same line as you did for the T. The only difference is pick your marker up and go to the plane line and make a bump like this going to the grass. So you start the bump from the airplane, make a curve, and then you come down to the grass. And that's B, bat, B. Another letter that we're learning this week is the letter F, fun, f. I was going to say fox. It's not fox. F, fun, f. So F, fun, f is you start on the sky. But this one is different. It's not a straight line immediately. You have to start it with a curve on the tip on the top of the sky. So you go like this. Look, you see it? You see it? Now you come down to the grass. You see that little curve? You have to do that first. And then you go across the airplane line, and that's F, fun, f. So, your practice is not just to do T and B, but always remember that F has a curve on the top. Today, when you were doing it in class, I noticed that some of you did a T and then you went back and did the curve. No, 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 no. That's not how it goes. It's a curve first. First the curve. You see it? Now you come down. That's what you do when you do the letter F, fun, f. Now, always carry a tissue and always remember to erase your board because it's very important to follow listening directions. If you follow directions, if you are listening and following directions, you are going to be an excellent writer like the last pre-K I had last year, who not only did it on a board, they also did it on a Promethean, which is a big giant tablet on the board on the wall. And there I was able to split the Skylighter formation board into two for two people to do it at the same time. And each child was able to use the colors, but now that they're in kindergarten, they get to choose the palette on the bottom and be able to choose another color. My recommendation is you never put a very light color like yellow, light blue, pale, like something that doesn't show. Always look for a dark color. Always look for a vibrant color that can be seen, because that way you can see and others can see what you're writing on the Promethean. But going back to the Skylighter formation board, this is something that you're going to be practicing at home. If you do not practice this at home, then you're not going to be able to do this with perfection. This takes a lot of practice. It takes a lot of fine motor practice, and this is something that you need to do all the time. And as many times as you need to, do it. This video is not for you just to do it once. You can do it many times. So let's now do it again. You start on the sky for all of these three letters and you stop on the grass. Let's start with T. You start on the sky, come down to the grass, pick your marker up and go across the airplane line. Again, start on the sky, come down to the grass, pick your marker up and go to the plane line and make a bump that goes from the plane line to the grass line. And letter F, you make a curve up here on the top. You see that? Make a curve, then come down to the grass, pick your marker up and go across the airplane line. And that's F, fun, f. So these are the ones that you need to be practicing for today and this week. Remember, smart is not something you are. Smart is something you get.